IVM.
Whether it's governments, universities, or businesses, pretty much everyone is looking to invest in millets or pulses like chickpeas and create a whole new slew of products from them, which include products that pertain to the replacement of meat, eggs, and dairy. So I wanted to put a question to you guys. In the course of your work, what have you seen are the major opportunities and the barriers to using this tremendous agricultural biodiversity?
I think one of the secret weapons, like you said, is definitely millets. India is the largest producer of millets in the entire world. These crops are climate hardy inherently. Let's say for 1 kilo of millets, they use 300 liters of water as opposed to the 5,000 liters for growing 1 kilo of rice. So yes, the climate hardiness is obvious. What's even more interesting with indigenous crops like millets is that they are super healthy, and that's something that the population currently needs. So in India, just to set a little bit more of context here, we're facing like a double burden of nutrition, where on the upper end of the pyramid we have problems like diabetes and obesity, and on the lower end, the numbers are really sad, where you can just safely say that 1 in 10 children in India are properly nourished. So millets here present a wonderful opportunity because not only are they gluten-free and low GI, thus great for diabetes, but they also come with this entire treasure house of micronutrients from iron, zinc and calcium to B12. And they're right in our backyard, so we must be using them. And growing and figuring out a value chain for them here is doubly important, because while they can be used for local consumption, they can also be used as a supply ingredient for the global supply chain for the entire plant-based meat industry.
And adding on to that, what Dhruvi just said, if you look at meat, if you look at eggs or dairy, fundamentally, it's a combination of proteins, fats, carbohydrates aligned together in a certain way to give a certain type of texture and flavor, what we call, this tastes a certain way. And with our great agricultural ecodiversity in India of different crops available, we can actually utilize them, take these crops, fractionate them into their individual proteins, individual carbohydrates, starches, fats, and actually use food processing technologies to again realign all these ingredients together to replicate the texture and flavor of these different animal products. And again, like some crops like chickpeas or mung bean could be really high in protein and could contribute to protein aspect. Some crops like millets, which are really high in calcium, some of them, could contribute to the micronutrient aspect. So India has a fabulous, a fabulous set of crops to work with to really achieve what we want to achieve here.
So one more thing I would just like to add to what Siddharth mentioned. There are a couple of barriers that we can see which is holding up the adoption of millets at large scale. Foremost is the lack of farmer economics and the ability to kind of plug into robust value chains. Number two would be, I think, the relative lack of food science research compared in millets compared to wheat, rice, or soy. Right, the fact that still makes these grains novel, exotic, referred to as indigenous. I think that's what needs to change over the longer term. But I think there are steps being taken in the right direction.